Have you ever stepped into a room filled with smiling faces and suddenly realized your entire life had been a lie? That is exactly what happened to me. I was carrying a gift for my wife, excited to surprise her at her company's biggest event of the year. But within seconds, I witnessed something that made my blood run cold. And before that night ended, the people laughing at me would be asking for forgiveness. My name is Daniel Carter, a 38-year-old construction business owner. My wife Emily and I had been married for 8 years. I truly believed we had a strong marriage. She worked as a senior marketing manager at a luxury fashion company, and I had always supported her career. One Friday evening, her company held a glamorous annual celebration at a five-star hotel. Emily told me spouses weren't invited because it was supposedly a staff-only event. At first, I accepted her explanation. Then, while cleaning our kitchen that afternoon, I discovered an invitation she had accidentally left behind. It clearly said employees were encouraged to bring their partners. Confused but still not suspicious, I decided to surprise her. I bought an expensive necklace, placed it inside a beautiful box, and headed to the hotel. The ballroom looked like something from a movie. Crystal chandeliers glittered above hundreds of elegantly dressed guests. Everyone appeared happy. Then I saw Emily. She wasn't standing alone. She was wrapped around another man. Her arms were around his neck, while his hands rested on her waist. They were laughing and dancing intimately in the center of the room. My heart nearly stopped. For several seconds, I couldn't move. Then everything became even worse. A group of coworkers noticed me standing near the entrance. One woman whispered something to another employee. Soon, several people began laughing. I heard one man say, looks like her husband actually showed up. Another replied, "This is going to be awkward." My stomach dropped. They all knew. Every single one of them knew. Emily finally noticed me. The smile immediately disappeared from her face. "Daniel?" she stammered. The man beside her stepped away. I slowly walked toward them, still holding the gift box. The entire room seemed to fall silent. "Who is he?" I asked. Emily struggled to answer. Before she could speak, the man extended his hand. "I'm Jason." I ignored him. Emily finally sighed. "Daniel, we need to talk." "Here?" I asked. "No." "Then explain why your company invited spouses while you told me not to come." Her face turned pale. Jason looked uncomfortable. Everyone watched as if they were witnessing a live television show. Then Emily said something that destroyed whatever remained of our marriage. "I didn't want you here because you're embarrassing." The room went completely silent. "You run a construction company. These are corporate executives. I didn't want people judging me." Her words hit harder than any punch. 8 years of loyalty, 8 years of support. And this was how she truly saw me. I looked around. Not one coworker seemed shocked. Many looked guilty because they already knew. I slowly handed her the gift. She stared at it. "What is this?" "A mistake." Then I turned around and walked away. But my story didn't end there. What Emily didn't know was that my construction company wasn't some small local business anymore. 3 years earlier, I had quietly become a partner in one of the fastest growing commercial development firms in the state. Our company was preparing a massive headquarters project worth millions of dollars. And guess which marketing agency was competing for that contract? Her company. The following Monday, I attended a meeting with executives who were evaluating potential partners. When Emily's company's presentation appeared on the screen, several executives praised their proposal. Then they asked for my opinion. I calmly explained the concerns I had about professionalism, ethics, and company culture. I never mentioned Emily. I didn't need to. The contract eventually went elsewhere. A few weeks later, rumors spread that several employees had been involved in inappropriate workplace relationships. Internal investigations followed. Emily's office became chaotic. Then one evening, she appeared at my door. Her eyes were red from crying. "Can we talk?" she asked. I listened quietly. She apologized for everything. She admitted she had been seeing Jason for months. She admitted she lied because she believed she deserved a more glamorous life. Then she said the words she probably thought could fix everything. I made a terrible mistake. I nodded. You're right. Tears streamed down her face. I want another chance. I looked at the woman I had once loved, the woman I would have done anything for. But trust, once broken, isn't easily rebuilt. You didn't leave me because I wasn't enough, I said calmly. You left because you thought someone else was better. She lowered her head. And now that your fantasy is gone, you want your backup plan. She couldn't respond. I opened the door, not to let her in, to let her out. That night, I closed the door on my past and walked toward a future built on self-respect. The people who laughed at me during that party thought I was the fool. In the end, they learned something important. The quiet man standing at the entrance wasn't losing everything. He was finally seeing the truth.